So hello everyone. Thank you for joining me. This is Trynette Lariba, the Curvy Fit RN and founder of Curvy Fit Chicks, where I help serve curvy women by helping them to activate, appreciate, and accentuate their courage by providing resources that promote holistic fitness and wellness. I'm so excited because today we have a special treat in his house. Okay. We have Madame Jenita Lawal. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Miss Lawal here, who you are seeing. Besides her beautiful smile, she is a mother of three, the owner of Lawal Travel. Okay. Now, she in the past has battled with her body, but she found peace with it. She has learned that she is an athlete, and honey, she can do all things in this curvy body of hers. Okay. She has done multiple races from 5Ks to 15Ks to 10Ks. Honey Child has also done multiple obstacle course races. All right. True athlete here. Okay. And she has even traveled out of the U.S. to do some of these things. She's gone to Puerto Rico to do these. She's gone to Jamaica. She's also done some locally right here in the U.S. of A. But the kicker is she's not even living here right now. Oh no. Miss Madame Jawal is living in Mexico with her three boys, living life like it is golden. And today we had to have her here so that she can share with us her experiences as a curvy woman who lives fit and well and who has conquered obstacle course races such as Tough Mudder. So, without further ado, I would like to present to the Curvy Fit Chicks domain and community, Miss Jenita Lawal.
Thank you. That was a great introduction.
Okay.
Who is that woman now?
I hope I did you just some bit of justice for all that you have done.
Yeah, I just have to add 7 half marathons. That's what started it, was the half marathons.
Half marathon.
Those are my babies. Yeah.
Awesome. So we know you're going to give us some magnificent gems on today.
Hopefully, I hope so. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the questions. If there's anything extra that you like to add or expound upon, go for it.
No problem.
All those things.
All right.
So tell us, first of all, how did you even hear about obstacle course races? Because I can say I hadn't heard about them for many years, not until even my 30s did I even hear that there was such a concept.
What's funny is I don't exactly remember. It was either, because I can't remember which was my first. It was either the bell buckle race or it was the foam race in Nashville. I think the bell buckle was first, and I heard about it from a coworker. Mm-hmm. She knew that I had started running, and she, really great person too, awesome person, but she invited me to come out and join her team. So it was, there were 4 of us on the team, and I was, a woman of size. I wasn't, I was probably like a 14, 16, probably close to what I am now. And I had never done that before, and it sounded like fun. And it was for a great cause. I think it benefited the firefighters in Bell Buckle, Tennessee. It's a little town in Tennessee, Bell Buckle. I think it was called Fit and Fired Up, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that was my first one. So, yeah.
So at that time, had you had already been working out, you already had, of course, living a healthy lifestyle, so she felt comfortable asking you to do it?
Yeah, and I was a fun person, so between and I will say that she was one of the people who always encouraged me. And so I actually was honored that she asked me to participate. But yeah, I think with that, it was a fun group of women anyway, the 4 of us. And she, like, if you didn't mind getting dirty, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So I'm glad that she did ask me, because it
was it muddy?
Yeah, it was muddy.
Oh boy.
So, do you want me to describe that one?
Sure.
Okay.
Tell us about
it. And mind you, I was a rookie, and so I didn't know to check the site for what obstacles would be included. I learned that. Okay. So one of the very first ones, you started kind of on the pavement at their training facility, and one of the very first obstacles was climbing this wall. And I think I sent you a picture of me climbing the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So you climb the wall, and then you come back down, and you go through the terrain, because it was through some trail-like area. I remember, and there's a picture of me in the mud going, shoot, because I remember going down this chute, and my goal was, don't get that muddy stuff in my mouth, right? I'm like, do not let that get in my mouth. And I get down to the end, and it like, and I was like, shoot, because it got in my mouth. Right, like, and then I also remember having to, they had this one obstacle, and it was a muddy kind of pond, not really a pond, but like a muddy water area, and they had a cargo net over it. So you had to military crawl, like bear crawl through it, and I scraped my elbows right here. But for me, like, even to this day, I consider them battle scars. Oh, yeah. And I love telling the story about how I got them. And then at the end, you ran through a ring of fire. So it was actually a pretty cool race. Those are the obstacles I remember. I'm sure there was some stuff in between that, but I remember climbing over the wall, and I'm afraid of heights. So every time that I've had to conquer a wall, and I did a ropes course before too, and like, you do it with this fear, this quiver of like, in your stomach, but I did it. So yeah, and I remember going over the wall, and I remember the muddy chute, and I remember bear crawling, and then running through the ring of fire. It was so much fun. It was a lot of fun. And I think what I loved about obstacle course races after that was the focus wasn't on my speed. And being a curvy runner, for me, it was always, I knew I was a slow runner. And maybe this is the wrong mindset, but I never really worried about making it like the first three of any of the groups, your age group, women's, like all that. I kind of sort of knew I wasn't going to be like in the top 3, top 5, which, you get prizes for most of the races when you're in those levels. Okay. So it was always about just beating my time, but you still feel like I'm a slow runner, right? And I remember during one of the obstacle course races I did, the hero run, and you have to take this tire up a hill and then like, down this path through the barn. And so I get the tire down, and these little skinny girls were like, and I was thinking, so it was like, my size was a benefit. And even like during the Tough Mudder, you see the one where I had to carry a man on my back. Right. And so people are like, you carried him? Yeah. So I love obstacle course races because it was not about the speed. Okay. It was truly about your strength, your stamina, your agility, so it took the focus off of the running, and it made it more. So I really liked them, and they provided me kind of a reprieve from focusing on time all the time. So
okay. So that's a lot of likes. Are there any dislikes that you have about obstacle course races that you think of?
Most of them are designed for men, and so there's a lot of upper body stuff, which is annoying because I still can't conquer like monkey bars. When I did the foam race, I fell on someone because I was like, I'm going to do it, damn it, I'm going to do it. And so here I go, and like, I fell down right onto someone's back. But a lot of them are designed for men, and so they're very upper body focused, right? Like even the Tough Mudder, honestly. So that's the one, I'll say, critique or dislike. A lot of it is upper body strength focused.
So for because the good thing is that you've done different ones, which gives you, different points of reference. The ratio with, men to women that do obstacle course races, like what would you say, more like a 80-20 or what?
Oh yeah, it's definitely more men. Although I will say, with the growth of like CrossFit and the functional fitness stuff, you see more like athletic fit women doing that. Because again, it's not just about running and speed, it's about total ability. And so I will say that the women you do see there, they are more of that athletic build, and I don't know, they're not the, you know what I mean, like the quintessential, yeah. So, but definitely more men. And I will even say, when I was doing them, because I haven't done any in the last couple of years, I said my last race, I did a 10-miler in 2018 or 17, I can't remember, but that was like my last competition race event. There still aren't a lot of plus size and or Black women doing them. The mud races, I know it's because of the hair.
Right, that could be.
Like, because I had mud in the fro when I did the Tough Mudder. I had mud in the fro. And actually, that's part of why I went natural. When I really started, my internet. Sorry. When I really started getting into being active, I just chopped off my perm and I went natural because the upkeep was getting to be just too much. So the hair thing it's a big deal. That's big for starting to mess up my hair. And like crochet was more versatile because I could be active and I could get in there and wash it and it didn't feel hot, so I could run in it. So yeah, the hair is a big thing. People don't get it. Like people don't get what we as Black women go through. It's not even a vanity thing. It's not all about vanity, So yeah, hair is a big thing. So yeah.
That I'm glad you brought that up. Because and I've been working out for quite some time now, and it's always, I have to sit and think about what am I going to do to my hair that's going to be functional, still cute, that I can put back.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to sweat, I can still clean my scalp.
Yeah.
You have to think about all these things really to have an active lifestyle as a Black woman. These are real things. And the thing about, having a fit life is that you always have to be intentional. So these are just things that you have to just plan for and know that, okay, this is just, just a part of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I did the, what do they call it? Silk press.
Oh,
why did I waste my money? Why did I waste my money? And I think at the time when I got the silk press, I was training for the race in Vegas, I think, a half marathon in Vegas. So it's like, I paid all that money for a silk press. Like, girl, really? Really? So, yeah, like I said, for me, the crochet has been the most conducive, I guess is the word, to an active lifestyle, because And the hair you choose is important too, because I would use this one. It was called like Jamaican wave or something, but it was good because it didn't frizz, it didn't like tangle. So like if I wanted to take a swim class, because at one point I thought about triathlon.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm not. That's not my thing.
I'm like, really? Oh, okay.
That is not my thing. I realize that, so we're gonna check that off the list.
Okay.
But but yeah, hair is, and it's not vanity. I get it. People think, it's a vanity thing. It's not a vanity thing for us. It truly is like it's something you have to consider. So yeah. Sorry.
Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. You need a sip of water? Are you okay?
I got my coffee, girl.
All right. Awesome. Just want to make sure. So how often were the waves, right? Like, don't you all go off in waves at the obstacle course?
It depends on the race. So I'm trying to remember. I know for Tough Mudder, they do waves.
Mm-hmm.
And that, that's to keep down the congestion and bottlenecking. Not all of them do. Some of the smaller ones, they don't. Okay. I remember the foam race we did go in waves. And that was a lot of fun. That really was so much fun. And I forget what it was called, like Rock something. I think it was ROC, Rock something. It was so much fun because one of the obstacles was this inflatable, like almost like a slip and slide. And you have to run and like jump on it and slide down. And I had to do it 3 times because I couldn't like get my slide right. But yeah, and I do remember the hero run. That one was in waves. So it just depends on the race.
Okay.
And when they do the waves, it's more so about when, but you do want to be conscious of it. If it's a mud race, I prefer going early.
Okay.
Because I just think about one, when it gets hot and icky, right? Mm-hmm. And your shoes, they'll get squished. Like, I don't know, like it's different when you're doing that early in the day versus when you're in that last wave. So, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that's good to know. And then also, do they have like the age categories, or is it kind of just general?
If I recall, it's general. I mean, you put your age, but really it's about, and again, depends on who's putting it on. Like Tough Mudder, I like them because Tough Mudder, it's not a competition. They let you know it is not a competition. Okay. It really is about camaraderie.
Okay.
Right? And what you'll find on that race is people helping people, right? So it's really cool. And so on a lot of them, I don't recall there being any kind of issue or special designation for age. It's really about your physical fitness. Like if you have issues and you don't think, like if you need too many accommodations, it's not the thing for you.
Right. Right, exactly. So, question.
Okay.
All right. So you already had your fitness lifestyle going on, you said, before you were introduced to the obstacle course races. So once you were introduced to it, did you find that your fitness goals shifted to match what you now had to achieve to do the obstacle course?
I think what obstacle course racing showed me was the benefit of functional fitness. I already, I think when I first started weight training, I was on machines, right? But what I have since moved to is I love free weights and functional fitness now. I'm not a CrossFitter,
right?
But I very much so believe in functional fitness. So when you see me in the gym, yeah, I do the Smith machine. So I do the squats and deadlifts and bench press. It's like the trifecta for everybody, right? Right. But then beyond that, you'll see me do stuff like farmer's walk. And when you think about farmer's walk, that's like carrying shopping bags. Like think about, you have all these shopping bags, right? That's what farmer's walk is, right? And flipping the tires. I love flipping tires. I kind of love it. I do. But think about it comes in handy lifting a couch. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, the obstacle course races really highlighted that functional fitness is really where I want to focus, right? Like, in CrossFit, they have this thing where you lie on the floor and you pull yourself up with the rope. When you do these races, there are a lot of rope events, right? Like in Tough Mudder, I had to use a rope to climb up a wall, right? And then I had to jump safely off that wall. And you learn that doing box jumps, how to land safely, right? So functional fit, I would say that it did highlight for me why functional fitness is where I wanted to focus. So.
Okay. And I hear you say that time was not an issue, right? Like it really just.
Yeah, for most of them, like for some of them, they might have like it might be more competitive, and it's who came in first and all that. But for the most part, it's conquering the obstacles. You know, you conquer the obstacles, and of course they have a race time limit. But you just focus on conquering each obstacle at a time. And most of them, you can skip an obstacle. It's not like you're penalized for it. You know, it's really about your safety, your level of ability. Because like I said, the upper body stuff always a struggle for me. And so like during Tough Mudder, I actually suffered leg cramps. And so, which was, whew. And so there was this one obstacle where you're doing the monkey bars across a body of water. So if you fell down, you fell into a body of water. Well, I already knew that I'm weak upper body. So I would probably be falling. But to fall in the water, and I already had leg cramps, what if my leg cramps when I'm in the water? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And so it was the prudent choice was for me to skip that one. And another one that I skipped in a different race, they had the rope over a body of water, and you're supposed to like, you know, have your body like this, and you know how they do a Mission Impossible and they shimmy across the rope?
Right.
And I was like, that ain't happening. Uh-oh, sorry. Yeah, so I knew. And then like, because of my weight, and I could already see the rope with the one girl on it, like, you know, and I'm like, nah, they didn't make this for me. So I'm not doing that. And so you just skip it. You go on to the next thing. And there's no shame. Right. There's no judgment. You know, you're there for you. You know, you're there to have a good time. And I will say that you walk away. Like if you skip too many, I think you should ask yourself, okay, what do I need to work on so that when I do this again, I can conquer that, right? Right. But don't walk away condemning yourself, like, oh, I can't do this. You know, that serves no one. So
that's good advice. That's really good advice because it's all supposed to be a learning process. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you conquer all of them 100%.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Know?
Bless your heart.
Yeah.
Bless your heart. So the next time you come, you may be more focused on a quicker time.
Right.
But for other people, it is like, okay, I'm going to get across this wall.
Yeah.
This time I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. And I love that when I've done them, I'm surprised at what I'm able to do. You know what I mean? Like, running a race, like half marathons, and I've loved all my half marathons. They've been challenging, and I feel like every time I hit the pavement, I learn something about me. But really, the improvement just comes from better form, better pace, better time. You know what I mean?
Right.
But with obstacle course races, sometimes you're like, ooh, what the heck is this? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I can do this, right? So, you know, it's I like them because they test your fortitude, right? And your ability. So your mental fortitude and your physical ability. I will say, so like the Tough Mudder. there was this obstacle called the Arctic Enema, okay? It is a vat of icy water. It's a vat of icy water, okay? You have to dive in, swim under a wall, come back up, and you're out, okay? In icy water. I'm not the strongest swimmer, which is why the whole triathlon thing wasn't working for me. And so I'm like, right? And I've taken ice baths before. As a runner, I've had to take an ice bath before.
Okay. And
so, you just kind of, and you do it, right? So I'm in the water, and in my mind, I'm like, oh my God! And I swim under the wall, and I come back up on the other side, and my team said, all I kept saying was, woo! Woo! And I didn't even swim all the way to the exit. I swam to the wall and got out of that crap, woo, woo, and got out that way. But it was so funny. But I did it. They were laughing at me because I just got woo, woo. But yeah, it was and then I ran through the very last obstacle was live wires, right? And it was called, what was it called? Electric shock therapy, I think. And so there's live wires hanging. The finish line is just beyond these wires, and there's mud. And I'm watching people run through and get shocked. And I'm trying to figure out some kind of path, right? There has to be a strategy. And my team, they're still looking, and I'm like, all right, forget it, go. And I go, and then it was because I got shocked, I think, by 2 wires. And it literally stops you, because you're like Tom and Jerry. Do you remember Tom and Jerry?
Oh, yeah.
How he get electrocuted and just stop. Yeah, it does that. It really does. And so I was like, and I fell over and got mud in my mouth again. And I was like, okay, forget strategy. I'm crawling out. And so I just crawled beneath the wires. I had mud in my ears. It's hilarious. The picture is funny because it's just, yeah.
Bless your heart, bless your heart.
And in my mind, I was like, ooh, that didn't work.
Note to self for next time.
Just crawl. Oh, goodness.
So how long is the distance usually for the obstacle course races, or does it just depend?
I know for that Tough Mudder, it was 10.5 miles. And there were, I can't remember how many obstacles, because they also had some bits where you just run, right? Okay. Like the hero run, I don't remember how many miles that was, because you have different obstacles. So the hero run, it started with a wall climb. A lot of them start with a wall climb. So you start with a wall climb over the wall, then you run to the woods. And we had to traverse sort of a stream. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I say your feet will get squishy, because a lot of them, there's water somewhere on the course. Okay. And so I'd say we probably a half mile, it felt like, through water. And then you get to different obstacles. So it's hard to determine the total length unless they tell you. Okay. But I would say that most of them, for some of the smaller ones, you're probably looking at about 5 miles of course, right? Okay. And they might intersperse that with different obstacles. But for the bigger ones like the Tough Mudder and the Spartan, mm-hmm. you're going to travel some distance. So prepare yourself for the distance too.
So what type of suggestions or recommendations would you give to a curvy woman who is thinking about signing up for an obstacle course mm-hmm. race, but not so certain that that's something that she can do? What would you say?
I would say strength and stamina. Don't worry so much about speed, strength and stamina. So for me, I'm not a fast runner, but I can go the distance. 8 miles is beautiful to me. The 15K is my favorite distance, right? because my body can handle the time and the terrain and you know. So focus on stamina, meaning you can stay in the game longer, right? And strength, because you'll get to those obstacles and it's your strength that'll get you through most of them. Because like I said, most are built for men and they're very upper body strength, right? And so the speed, the running, it gets you through the course faster, okay? But most of the obstacles have nothing to do with running, right? So don't feel like you have to be a great runner. If you can jog and you can, let's say you can jog a good and not necessarily running the whole time, but if you can cover 5K, I think you'll be fine. Take that 5K training along with some strength training and working on your stamina. So that's stuff like making sure you get a long run in once a week, and then doing stuff like hill work or intervals, because that takes that really gets your heart strong. I say those, because when you do the obstacles, you're exerting for a certain period of time, and then it's steady because you're going to the next obstacle, and then it's exert, next obstacle. So interval training is really important.
Okay.
I say that's probably, so strength, stamina, intervals.
All right.
And have fun.
You have
fun.
Excited about doing. I have one coming up, so I'm excited. You got me pumped up.
Yeah.
Oh, I got another. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was just saying have fun with it. So, but go ahead. What's the question?
So my question to you is, how important is it to have a team? I know you kept saying, my team was waiting on me and they were cheering, or they were, so what would you say about that?
So I've done all except for the 2 of all my races. Well, not all of them. I'm typically a solo competitor. I'm typically a solo runner. And part of that's because, honestly, when it comes time to work out, people fall to the wayside. And so I was always kind of by myself training and whatnot. But it was cool to have a team there. They came back for me and one stayed with me. And so I wasn't alone. And that was pretty cool. I mean, I probably could have done it alone, but it was cool to have support. And then you're also encouraging other people through it. And on the bell buckle, I had the team. So it was nice to Judy, yeah, girl, we did that, Right. So that was nice. And even on the ones where I didn't have anyone in the race, it was great when I had someone at least there, at the finish line. For the hero run and the foam run, my kids were there. My kids and a friend of mine.
Okay.
And so for the hero run, my son took a picture with me, so it's just nice to have that support and that, feeling like that someone is out there and sees you, because even though you do it for you, it is nice that someone sees you and celebrates you and shares that experience with you in some capacity. So it's not critical, but it makes it nicer.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm convinced and I'm excited,
Awesome.
I'm always ready to challenge this body and see what else it can do.
Yeah. And then, I challenge the misconception that you have to be a certain size or even a certain way. I think it all boils down to your level of health and ability. And I think I shared with you, part of my struggle was I was so focused on beating my body into an image that I discounted everything that this wonderful body was able to do. And, what I will say is at this point in my life, I'm a little bit puffier, but what I realize is it doesn't affect my level of happiness. I'm still able to hike places I love. I love walking. I still love Like when my sons are playing, I still have to show them, oh, mama's still strong. You know what I mean?
Right. That's right. You gotta throw that in there, you know. You gotta throw it in there.
Yeah. So, and I think when you do races like that, you begin to, because women don't often get, and I've talked about this with someone before, women don't often get the opportunity to know what it feels like to be victorious in a physical way, right?
Right.
We have all these all these other victories in different things, like even childbirth. It's amazing. We just count it because it's, oh, you're doing whatever. But to conquer something physically, it's a pretty good rush. Like, and you begin, I know for me, I began to see myself as a badass and invincible in other ways because I knew how strong I was. Like, man, I just jumped through a vat of icy water. Do you know what I mean? Or like, man, I just ran through live wires. Like, dude, what? Right? So it's like, you know, even at the half marathon, I was like, you know, I know on the course there were times when I was ready to call the van to come pick me up. And it's like, no, you got this, talking to yourself. And so you really, when you conquer something physically, it does something to you mentally as well. And I think that it makes you stronger, and it makes you fear less about some things that are to come. So I'll end it with that.
All right. So thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us, Miss Jenita. Now go ahead and tell the people where they can find you.
All right. Well, if you just want to connect with me, I am on Instagram at @JLawal_ATW. That means around the world. If you want to follow my business site, it's on Instagram at Lawal Travel, and we're on Facebook at Lawal Travel as well. So.
And just give us the spelling just in case. Oh,
sure. So it's JLAWL_ATW, and then Lawal Travel is LAWALTRAVEL. Ding.
Yes. This is the kicker, and I really want to share this with the people because I appreciate you coming on here. And I love to travel, as you can see. I have some of my artwork back there. But this is the thing. When you are a person that loves to travel, you also need to be a person that loves to be fit, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, you want to be able, when you're traveling to different places, you want to have different experiences, and you don't want to have all these different limitations. You know, you want to be able to have some spontaneity. You know, maybe they say, oh, let's hike up the waterfall. You know, let's go over here or there. And you don't want to have to stop and pause because I'm not sure about my knee. I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure about that.
Or the weight limit on the zip line.
Oh, that's another one. Right? Don't want to be on that next, IG video that everybody passing around. Don't let that be you. You know, but you really do honestly want to be able to enjoy life. And that's one of the benefits of staying fit, is that you can truly enjoy life and travel. Because not only that, right, there's also, you know, I'm in the business of dealing with curvy women. It's also that airplane.
Yeah.
And wanting to buckle up in that seat.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I remember, and I'll share this story if you have time. So before I started, losing some weight, I was like 343 at my biggest, I would say. But I remember not buckling the seatbelt, and I didn't ask for an extender either, okay, because I was too embarrassed to ask for an extender. And I think about it now, and I realize I put my life in danger because I was too embarrassed to ask for an extender, So I put my life in danger because of that. Now, when I was able to buckle the seatbelt, and every time I fly, honestly, and I buckle the seatbelt, a little part of me like smiles, because
me too.
And people don't it's something other people probably don't even think about.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I click inside, I'm like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I'm not one at this point in my life to be on people about, oh, lose the weight.
Mm-hmm.
I would say lose the weight that makes you feel better about yourself, right? And helps you to live a more happy, fulfilled life.
Right.
Okay. Like for me right now, it's less about the scale and my running time, and it's more about what you were talking about, living a full life. Can I climb up these ruins? Can I go horseback ride? Can I kayak? I'll tell you, I was in Bacalar and went kayaking with my kids, and I was like, oh, Jesus. I was like, okay, I'm out of shape. I got to get back in it because I couldn't kayak anymore. I was like, oh, my God. I was having a heart attack. But it's that kind of stuff. Like, you don't want your physical ability to detract from this great experience you're having on this lagoon, kayaking at sunset. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, yeah.
Exactly. That's just what it's all about. So, so I'm just excited, you know, that we're going to, you know, be doing these obstacle course races, and I don't know, maybe one of these days we can do one together if you're here, or maybe if there's some in Mexico, so that, you know, we can continue to be representative on the course, so that other curvy women or other ladies are encouraged to do obstacle course races, because it's doable.
It is. And I encourage everyone.
Right here.
Yeah. Well, good on you, and I wish you the best. And like I said, I love it. I love it. I don't regret any of them. I had fun with it. So I wish you all the best. And I would love to see your journey and see like other women doing it. Because I think when we shine, you give other people the permission to shine. It's almost telling them like, hey, come on, it's okay. Come on, do this. So good on you.
Absolutely. So thank you all so much for joining. You can find more information about the Curvy Fit Chicks at curvyfitchicks.com. We're all over the internet sphere, and we are always there to help you to challenge those curves and to live your best curvy fit life. Thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye.